Oh, you can't get me on tape, I'll break it.
Well, I'm right here.
Bye, happy birthday.
Listen, bye.
Later.
All right.
I'm filming. I'm filming in a minute. Mama said I could. Stop. Mama said I could.
Didn't say right now.
Yes, she said. Yes, she did. She said after you got it ready. Woo! Yes, good luck.
I heard for you.
Finally, you let go. Ow.
So,
Me.
I got some curly here. Got that here table.
Where'd Stacie go?
But it's sort of drug out because of the weather that we've had. And I was mentioning to some parents too that we normally do lots of research and technology things in the computer lab, but our scheduling, we've had such conflicts because other classes and grades are doing project-based learning too, so getting into the lab has been a problem. So some of the things like some of the pictures, in the past we've done these on computerized pictures, but we simply couldn't get to the lab to do them, so they did them by hand instead. But they have done a lot of research. They had fun with this project. They've worked with the music teachers, the art teachers. And this project, I did math activities with all the third graders. I rotated from room to room. Mrs. Reed came to all the classrooms, and she worked on social studies and activities about the astronauts. Mrs. Wofford more or less did the language arts. And then Mrs. Thomas, she worked with science. So they had fun getting to know the other third grade teachers as well and doing this activity. And it's going to be a little noisy in here because all four groups will share at the same time. So you'll just have to tune in to your group, please. And then after we have our small group presentations, they're going to come together and do some songs. And last of all, we're going outside to launch our rockets that they're so excited about. So groups, someone here?
Activities about the moon, and here are some that we are going to share with you. Here are two astronauts we are going to do, Alan Shepard and Buzz Aldrin. I am doing Alan Shepard. His name was Alan B. Shepard Jr. He was born November 18, 1923. He grew up in East Derry, New Hampshire. His mission name was Apollo 14. The mission was to orbit the Earth. His job still is today is being an astronaut. Shepard made his second space flight as spacecraft commander on Apollo 14, January 31st, February 9th, 1971. And our next activity will be Buzz Aldrin. Allison will be doing him with you.
That astronaut is Edwin E. Aldrin. He was born January 20th, 1930. His spaceship name was Apollo 11. His destination was to reach the moon. When he was a kid, he wanted to be on the shuttle that reached the moon and be the first person. He did not be the first person, but he was the second. Now he is retired. He was the second man on the moon, and he stepped on the moon 19 minutes after Neil Armstrong did.
The next activity we will be doing with you is craters. Nicholas will be doing that activity with you.
We made moon craters by dropping 3 marbles of the same size into wet clay. We dropped the marbles from the height of 100 centimeters, 50 centimeters, and 25 centimeters. Then we measured and recorded the width and depth of each crater. We discovered that the marble dropped from 100 centimeters made the widest and deepest crater. We also dropped a larger and smaller marble. We found out that largest marble makes the largest crater.
The next activity we will be doing with you is Faces on the Moon. Haley will be doing that activity with you.
We use the internet to research moon faces. And when we were born next, we surveyed all cars to gather data and it on a ball box. We made the computer lab. The greatest and last students in our class were born during a shared space. The number of students more was
The next activity we will be doing with you is Wait on the Moon. Brooke will be doing that with you. We have fun using scales to find our weight in pounds on Earth. Then we use calculators to divide our Earth weight by 6 to discover our moon weight. Last of all, we made bridge maps to relate our Earth weight to our moon weight. We weigh more on Earth because of the gravity. Stacie weighed 95 pounds on the Earth and 16 pounds on the moon. The next activity we will be doing with you is Why We Can't Live on the Moon. Nicholas will be doing that with you.
We made a Venn diagram to compare and contrast about why we cannot live on the moon. Something that why we cannot live on the moon is because it has no water, and it does not have any soil, and it does not have any air. Some of the things is why we can live on Earth is we have water, soil, air, and some of the things that they both have is they're both built out of rock, they both have some gravity, and they both have mountains.
Next activity we will be doing with you is My Trip to the Moon. Allison will be doing that with you.
ring, 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 my alarm clock went, but suddenly my alarm clock sounded like no Armstrong said we need one more person to go to the moon. Then he looked right at me and said, do you want to be our third astronaut? So I said yes. I was on my way to the moon. It was 1968 and I only had 1 year to train, learn how to operate a spaceship, but most important, convince myself I'm not going to die. The next day we started training. First we learned what all the buttons were. One was locate the eagle. All the buttons were very confusing. One was as bright orange as Jupiter, as yellow as the sun, and lots more. Before I knew it, I heard 10, 9, 8, 7, ignition, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off. It felt like somebody kicking me back into my seat, but at the same time, felt like someone pushing me back out of my seat. Then all of a sudden, the engines cut off. I was in space. Everything was pitch black. Then I saw the sun. Then all of a sudden, I saw the sun rise above the moon's surface. The moon landing was perfect. The moon looked gray, rocky, and mischievous. I wanted to run outside the eagle and just touch it, but I knew I had to prepare the spaceship and myself. Finally, I got to be the first child in space, the first girl in space, and the first person ever to touch the moon. The moon was right there. Then I made history. I stepped onto the rocky gray moon. I played around for a minute. Then we had to go back to Earth. My feet are back on Earth, and that's where they're going to stay, at least till Apollo 16 blast off.
Very good. That's excellent.
I will share my story with you next. One hot summer day, I got a call from NASA. They said they had drawn my name out of a tremendous box. Soon a huge bus pulled up in front of my house. I got on the bus and I went to Cape Canaveral. Before I got ready, I wrote my parents a letter. When I took a shower and got dressed, I went out to the launch pad. There it stood, a gigantic orange fuel tank and 3 rocket boosters on the sides. And on the back of the orange fuel tank was the space shuttle. The space shuttle looked like a stubby airplane. Suddenly I remembered that I had to put on my spacesuit. So I ran as fast as I could to the girls' dressing room. When I got to the dressing room, there were spacesuits hanging everywhere. So I picked out my size and got the suit on. Then I got the boots on, and as soon as I got the boots on, I got the gloves on. Then I ran back to the space shuttle. I climbed back inside, then I got buckled back in my seat. Before I knew it, the announcer said, 10, 9, ignition, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off. The shuttle was going faster than speech. I could not believe what was happening to me. In 4 days, I was on the moon. The moon was enormous and it was so great. There were craters everywhere. I got some moon rock and dust. Then I went back to the shuttle. I never want to go back again. Nicholas will be sharing his story with you next.
Have you ever went to the moon? Well, let me tell you about the time I went to the moon. It was June 2002, my birthday. First, we were about to go on vacation. We were in the humongous van and were out of the driveway. Then we were on the highway pulling into the beach. Second, the phone rang. It was NASA. They wanted me to blast off in Apollo 11. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition, 0, blast off. We have liftoff. The shuttle shook like crazy. Lastly, we were on the moon. We stayed in the space shuttle for 5 very long hours. Then we got out of the Eagle. We searched for scientific devices. We found a satellite that spun around. We found an American flag, a moon buggy, and a meteorite. We found a moon rock and got dust. Then we got back into the shuttle and flew home. My trip to the moon was awesome.
Very good.
Haley will be sharing her story with you next.
On the day when I was coming home from school, I saw a last spaceship, and I got a phone, the telephone link. It was a NASA. Get your spacesuit on. You are going to the moon. First of all, the shuttle was enormous. There were 2 doors. The spaceship was like a big room. Then I took a flag, a camera, and a TV bag. First, I picked up several dust clouds. I took a picture of the moon. Let's put a flag on the moon. I was happy to come home from a long trip to the moon.
Very good.
Brooke will be sharing her story with you next.
Have you ever been to the moon? Well, I have. First, I went to the space shuttle and took off. Wow, that hurt. I felt surprised that I didn't die. We are fine now. After we landed, we got off the space shuttle. We saw a flag. We sang a song. Last, we went back home. We were glad. My mom was surprised. I was glad to be home.
Very good.
Allison would like to share her extra credit homework with you now.
This is a model of our solar system. First there is the sun, which isn't really a planet. It's our closest star in our solar. Then there's Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. If we started from Earth and went to Pluto, it would take 250 years just to reach it in traveling by the speed of light. You can make one if you want to.
Very good.
That is the end of our presentation. I hope you enjoyed it very much.
Thank you. It was excellent.
Tommy, Elizabeth, Carlin. The moon is enormous. The moon is enormous. It has craters. It has craters. The flag is on the moon. The flag is on the moon. It's still there. It's still there. Neil and Buzz. Neil and Buzz. First on the moon. First on the moon. They brought a sample to us. They brought a sample to us from the moon. From the moon.
The singers are Hunter,
Addison.
Dusty moon, has craters, has little gravity, It's made of rock. Look, Nicole. The moon is huge, the moon is huge. It has craters, it has craters. It has rocks and mountains, it has rocks and mountains. And gravity, and gravity. Neil Armstrong went to the moon, went to the moon. Buzz went with him, Buzz went with him. They flew a flag, they flew a flag. Haley, Jennifer, Megan, Caitlin, Woods. The moon is dusty, the moon is dusty. It has craters, it has craters. You endless on the moon, you endless on the moon. Has no wind, has no wind. Edwin Aldrin had one mission, had one mission. He went to the moon with Neil Armstrong. They left a message, they left a message. We made pop rockets. We made them with geometric shapes such as a cylinder, a cone, and the flame-shaped triangle. We will fill a film canister up halfway with water, then add an Alka-Seltzer, and then let our rockets launch.
And I think this has probably been one of their favorite activities. So let me tell you, in case you want to try this at home, you have to use like the Fuji film. And I noticed they apparently have some new canisters that will not work. The lid has to fit inside. That's why the black Kodak canisters will not work. But even though we've got some clear ones now, the lid fits on the outside, I had to be very careful that I didn't have those on here. But I think the boys and girls know how to make the rockets, but you just have to have this special canister. And then, like Hunter said, we're going to put half. First we'll fill the canister half full with water, and then half an Alka-Seltzer tablet, and then watch out. So I'm going to call. Now, somebody told me they experimented with pepper. There's two that works. So you may want to experiment, but we did warn that you don't mess with Alka-Seltzer without your parents' approval there.
Oh, man.
Okay, are we ready? This is our rocket fuel. I gotta be ready for the lid. Ready?
Oh, watch out.
Watch out, watch out.
3, 2, 1.
5, 10,
9, 8. I got the one that's gonna work.
All right, let's see who wants to be next.
Short.
I bet Nicole. And I think you can experiment with how much water you put in here. We'll try one at the end. We'll try and put a cool Alka-Seltzer typically.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. I told you the bigger ones go higher, don't they? Black pepper is better. It goes 6 feet high. Black pepper. Mama, we need to try black pepper. You can put it off there and take it home. I get it. I take it. Stacie. Man, how about one day? You take it. What?
At least we don't have a 50-mile-an-hour wind today like we used to have. We had it postponed the launch.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. 0. Blast off. 5, 4. There you
Tommy.
Black pepper, Mom. Remember that. I'm going to try black pepper. Yeah, you just sure that's nice. You can go.
Move, Stacie. Come here. Come here.
Ouch. Ouch. No, no. Go get her, Jessica. Look. Wait a minute.
Come here, puppy.
Look, who's that? That's Jessica, ain't it? Ain't that Jess?
Come here.
Ain't that Jess?
Put him down.
Go get her.
Come here. Come here, puppy.
Say his name.
Speedy. Speedy.
Oh,
Speedy.
Speedo.
Speedy. Speedy.
Speedy.
Look.
Look at the video camera. Oh, Speedo. Oh, you have stinky breath. Yeah. Stinky breath.
Come